Good morning, students. Welcome back to the computer science class. In last class, we studied list, tuple, sets, and dictionary in Python. This is in C++. We are using sequence of values as arrays. In Python, we use list, tuples, sets, and dictionary. Okay. What is list? List is nothing but sequence data type. It's a group of values or elements or set of values or elements enclosed within collection of values within square brackets. Okay. Each value in the list is called as element. As element. It may be number, character, string, or nested list also. Okay, as well. So every element has unique position value that is similar to characters and strings. Each element referred by positive index and negative index. Positive index for the first element to last element 0 to n minus 1 if n number of elements the list consists of. Similarly, minus 1 to minus n in reverse order, that is negative indices. Okay, how to create list? Just a variable is equal to value. Variable is equal to list of value. Element 1, element 2, element 3, etc. etc. Element n separated by comma enclosed within square bracket. That must be essential one. Square bracket. Lists are mutable one. That means it can be an element can be added or removed or deleted or changed, or any changeable can be acceptable. Okay. Then we can see the examples. Then list elements. The sequence of elements also need not to be a same data type. Need not to be a same data type. So each element value may be a different data type. Okay. A list can consist of within a list. That is called nested list. Nested list is a list containing another list as an element. List as an element. So that is known as nested list. This is the example for nested list. Then accessing elements, list elements. How to access list elements? Once list is defined, the entire list elements can be printed. Just print list name. Like as just print variable name, just list name. All the elements will be printed as a list. If you want to access a single element means you can access it by using the index position. So list name within square bracket index position. Within square bracket you have to mention the index position, positive index position or negative index positions. So we can access it. Okay, once list is defined like this, we can access any element of the list or entire list. Entire list just using the list name. We need not to mention the index of element. Each and every element means, or any particular element means, you have to mention the index of element either positive or negative. So how to access these elements? We already seen. By using the index position, we can directly access a particular element. Here the first element, here the last element by using negative value, or by using while loop. How to access each elements? Index value positive and index value negative. The loop iterations, each iterations are explained in your example. We already seen in last class. Okay. Then next one, list length. This is another kind of way. If you don't know the number of elements of the list, you can use len function to find the length of the list. Length means total number of elements. So len functions determines the number of elements of a list, which obtains. So by using this, we can calculate the number of elements. Then based on the number of elements, we can access through forward or backward. Okay. So len function is used to set the upper limit in a loop. So len function is used to find the length of a list. Just to find the length of the list. Length of the list means total number. That is the number of elements in a list. So len function in string determines the number of characters in a string. Okay. Here len function determines number of elements in a list. So once we obtained the list number of elements, we can use by accessing it. For example, my subject consists of 1, 2, 3, 4 string values. That means that 4 string elements. So len of my subject displays 4. So if you don't know the number of elements, but if you know the list name, means you can access all the individual elements, means how to display it. You can use this for loop by defining in condition instead of the number of elements, we can find the number of elements by using len function. So I is equal to 0 to less than n. If n number of elements means less than, not less than or equal to, because the first index starts from 0. Accessing the elements using for loop. For loop also easier one. That's also we can see. Okay. So let us see in Python shell program. So my subject. All double quotations having some problems. Okay. What is the next one? Len of my subject. It will not be displayed actually. Save this. Nothing will be displayed here because this must be called in print function. That is a mistake given in your textbook. So you have to call this one in print function or by assigning another one variable. For example, x is equal to len of my subject, then print x. Otherwise, you won't get any output. Now you can get the output as 4. So in your textbook, you can modify this as print of open close bracket at the end. Okay. Similarly, you can access the elements. If you don't know number of elements means, you can use len function to find the number of elements in condition assigning the number of elements, maximum number of elements instead of the value directly given. In the previous example, the values are directly given. Negative value or positive value directly given. 4. Here also. Positive example 4. Negative indices. Both. Negative indices -4. Reverse index. So instead of that place, we can use the len function to find the number of elements in condition. So we can access all the elements. So same program can be written. While loop statements, so these two statements must be intended. So now we can save this, then execute this. Tamil, English, Computer Science, Maths. So the same thing can be reversed, minus of n. So len of this function, we can reversely display this. This not given in your textbook. I can give here is minus len of. So here minus 1. So minus 1 to minus n. So this condition must be greater than or equal to. Then here you can display the same I. So last element to first element. What happened? Condition. Oh, here len is given. Minus greater than or equal to minus 1. First one, last index value. Here we need not to change anyone. I is equal to minus 1. So this value minus of len. I is equal to here minus 1. Minus of len is greater than or equal to. I. Condition again reversed. Max, Computer Science, English and Tamil. So I value minus 1. Len of my subject means minus 4. So minus 1 is greater or equal to minus 4. Yes, it is true. Then minus my subject of I is minus 1. Minus 1 will be displayed. Then minus 2, minus 3, minus 4. Minus when it becomes minus 5 I value. Len is only 4. So the loop will be terminated. So it will be stopped. Okay. So we can print this in reverse indexing. Okay. That is the example. Then accessing elements for loop. In Python, for loop is used to access the elements in a list one by one. Like as a character in strings, we can use in strings. For variable in string means each and every character automatically taken for the each iteration. Similarly here, for variable in list means for first iteration it will take the first element, for the second iteration it will take the second element until the end of the last element. So we need not to find or calculate the len of the list. If you use while loop, you can use len of a list, len function of a list to find the number of elements. Here we need not to calculate the number of elements in for loop. How to display the same by using in for loop means we can see this. Just for variable I in my subject. Yes, capital S, S U B J E C T, my subject. That's all. just print print I. So each element will be displayed. You can see the result here. Tamil, English, Computer Science, Maths. The result will be displayed here. One more thing, if you use the list name directly means all the 4 times what will be displayed, entire list will be displayed. So I for each iteration, for the first iteration it will take the first elements, for the second iteration it will take the second element, for the third iteration it will take third element, and fourth iteration it will take fourth element, then no fifth element, so loop automatically eliminated. Only 4 elements is there. So we need not calculate the length. Okay, this is very easiest way to access elements in a list by using for loop. Whenever we use to access all the elements, we use while loop or for loop. It's better to use for loop. Okay. Similarly, example is given. Marks list consists of the 5 elements 23, 45, 67, 79. For x in marks, print x. For the x, for the first iteration it will take 23, second iteration it will take 45, third iteration 67, then 78 and 98. So 5 elements. Each element is indexed from 0 to 4. The Python reads for loop and print statements like English. For every element represented as x in the list, marks and print the values of the elements. Python interpreter reads like this. So this is the sentence. It makes a meaningful sentence. So it will print every element. That's all. For in this list, use every element for each iteration. That's all. Changing list elements. How to change list elements? So in Python, lists are mutable, which means they can be changed. List element or range of elements can be changed or altered by using simple assignment operator. So you have to mention the index position, either positive index position or negative index position, then the specific value. Or if you want to change the list of values, group of values, if you want to change, it means starting index to end index, then list of values to be changed. You have to mention it. Here the example is there. In this example, my list is a list consists of how many elements? 2, 4, 5, 8, 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 elements. My list elements before update. We can print all the contents. Then my list of 2. 2 means third element. 0, 1, 2. Third element. Third element assigned as 6. Then it will be after the updation. Again the same list will be printed. What will it will display? 2, 4. Now it is changed as 6. Second element of the list. That means third position. Second element means third position of the element. Will become 6. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 will be displayed like this. So again the same program we can execute it. So for this for loop, so what is here? My list 5 elements. So my list before update all the elements will be displayed. Then the loop will this loop will print all the elements. Then my list of 2 statement change. This is main statement, not a for loop statement, main statement. So the second position, that means third element of the my list will be 6. After this updation we will print again the loop. So what will happen? You can execute this. You can see the output 2, 4, 5, 8, 10 before that. After that what will be the output? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. That's all. Okay. Then we are going to the another one example. Update or change or range of values. So here we change only one value. The list of value how to change. For example, here my list is 13579. list odd numbers for x in my list. The same my list 0 to 5. 0 to 5 means 0 to 0 colon 5 means 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Last one minus 1. So the list of values are separated by comma. Again the same my list will be printed. Now it will become 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So the same program can be executed means. File, save as. So if you run this, okay. So here the first one 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Here 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. For example 0 to 5. Instead of this one, for example 2 to 1 to. Let us take 1 to 4 means what will happen? How many values? 1, 2, 3. 3 position values. So you have to mention only 3 values. Now you can save and run means what will happen? 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Then after updation, the second element, third element, fourth element only. Second, third, fourth only will be changed as 2, 4, 6. Because the range value is defined as 1 colon 4. 1 colon 4 means 1, 2, 3 only. The position value 1 has 3, 2 has 5, 3 has 7. So this only replaced respectively from the given value 2, 4, 6. So the output will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 9. So 1 and 9, first and last elements remains the same value. You can clearly understand. You can change a single value or list of values. Single value means index position. List name index positions within square bracket equal to the new value. Or otherwise range of values means list name index position, start index position, colon last index position. The last index position minus 1 up to last index position minus 1. You have to specify the number of values separated by comma. The changing new value. Then we can change it, then print it, access it. Okay. Then adding more elements in a list. All the things we can see in tomorrow's class. So you can repeat the same things again and again. Don't get any confusion. We are slowly moving because you have to understand this list thoroughly means all the topics, sets, dictionaries, tuples are very easier one. So far we have moved slowly. Okay. So today's class is over. What are the things today's we seen? How to access list by using for loop, then how to access the list by using length function. Without length function we can access each element by using for loop easily, and we can find the length of the list by using length function. We can access the same by using while loop. Then changing the list elements. How to change the list element? How to change the single element? How to change the range of elements? In both you have to mention the syntax and mention it with example programs. Example with output. So in general 5 mark question or 3 mark question, it is asked how to change the list element. Explain with example. We can change a single element or range of elements. Single element or range of elements. Both you have to mention and explain. Okay. Then how to access elements using for loop. This is 2 or 3 mark question. This also. Explain list length function. 2 or 3 mark question. Okay. This is totally 5 mark question. or any single value or range of value can be asked in 2 or 3 mark question, but together asked as a 5 mark question. In assignment you have write as a 5 mark question. That's all. Okay, thank you students. We will meet tomorrow.